Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Lee from Magnetic North Adventures, and today I'm over in Wirksworth near Matlock, Derbyshire, and going on a little walk, going to see what there is in this particular area. I have been to the area before, but today I'm going to do a walk around with no maps. We just had some hilltop fog, that's now gone, so it's going to be safe to continue and do a walk around. So I'm not sure as to what I'll be seeing. It is going to be a mystery tour. Hope you're all well, and we'll be back with you in a moment. So the area I'm in today, millions of years ago, 280 to 330 million years ago, was underneath a tropical sea. And you do see corals, shells, various other bits of fossils. It's just a generally nice area to be in. It's very peaceful, and there is some old mines here as well. There's a bit of a shop and a cafe, so we'll have a look at those, go and have a walk around, and come back and then decide where we're going to go from there. So first thing we've come across, it's a very old lime kiln, Coal Hills hamlet. That's what it would have looked like. Coal poured from the top between coal and limestone and worked down at this level for quicklime. So there's a bit of history on it. That's where I am, and that would have been 1890. And just up there, that was the old railway. One of the earliest railways in the world, opened 1829 to 1830. Is now part of the High Peak Trail. So let's have a look at the structure. So at this level here, this is where you would often be working. The very hot lime would come through the hole filter from up there. Now it was often a very dirty job, and unfortunately, because lime is one of them things that does burn, a lot of people went blind from doing this particular job, and this would have been a hive of activity in the 1800s. And just here on the side of the rock, you've got fragments of the actual lime as well. So this is what the lime was used for. It was used to build building material, and actually to put it on where the buildings are for quick mortar and lime. Now, talking of the early fossils earlier, this piece here, just here, you've got bits of coral already in the rocks just there. So just down here, this is the National Stone Centre. So there's some information about it, the health and safety and the rules of the site. So just at the back here, it's Coal Hills Quarry, disused. You've got Ravens Tor Shore Quarry, Coal Hill Quarry, and then the M1 Quarry, also disused, with the railway line running directly through the centre of the site. Now it has been recorded that you do get various species of butterflies in this area, and you also get lots of really nice wildflowers throughout the year. So there's always something to have a look out for. And if you're out walking and you see one of these grates, this is actually a very early mine shaft. It is capped off on the top there, And this used to be an old lead mine, and galena and barytes was mined out of this particular one. As you can see, the vegetation is starting to overgrow in there. That's nicely sealed off and safe. And this is the information here on the lead mine. This long before the 13th century. These were this shaft now goes down only 10 meters, 30 feet, but was originally much deeper. Stone wall lining is known as a ginning, and the origin of lead veins is described later in the trail, which I won't actually be on today. But there's the National Stone Centre, and we've got some more information boards over here. So there we are, that's a type of coral, rugose coral, and crinoids there, which were sea lily. Occasionally shark's teeth as well, brachiopods. And just behind me is this tower, designed by artist Dennis O'Connor. So we've got some information here for you on what it was like in the tropical era as well. And there's the artist tower just there. It's a beautiful little structure just there. So in this lagoon here, this is the limestone quarry called the M1 Quarry, and it's basically here where limestone was mined to build the M1 road. Now this rock dates 330 million years. It's got patches of ironstone in there as well. So this is what the sea would have looked like many years ago. And when I say a crinoid, this is a crinoid fossil. And the bits that you see in the walls are these sections here, which are here, the stem, bits of this top arm. Now that's the information of it, just there. And yes, there was sharks in this area as well, swimming in this landscape, what is now the sky. It's hard to believe. But yes, there was warm, shallow seas. There were animals. They are animals, not plants, like starfish on stalks, and are remotely related to sea urchins and echinoids, basically. And they're fed by filtering tiny particles of food plankton from clear, turbulent seawater with plenty of oxygen, and grew in large colonies. Now, on the lead veins, what were mined, you've got, this is what it would look like. Barytes is the white, galena is the lead. And that's some information there about it. So as a pan around, having known and studied geology, I've found you a piece here. So this here, this is the galena, and this is the barytes just here. Now that has been mined for many centuries, and it is known that in this area there has been things found from the Roman times, lead ingots in the area, so it's quite possible that the Romans worked in areas similar to this. It's not known exactly where, but they definitely worked in these areas. And we've got a very old tree there, nicely formed. And then just here In the rock you've got crinoid stems, you've got the impression of where a seashell, brachiopod shell would be. So it is just a case of looking around to see these old features. And here we've got a rock with a hole drilled through from a core sample. That would be when they were testing the rock for quality. But yes, it's a beautiful little area. And this is on the Geo Trail, geological. And here we've got another structure for you to see, another local artwork. Rather dramatic with the fog around the back of it. So that's what the coral would look like, the solitary coral. You've got corals there, reef coral, and different types of coral there. Now you do get bivalve shells occasionally, and that's what the brachiopods look like. So this here marks the top of the reef level, just up here. And then you've got old walls that's been rebuilt with passes and archways. Such a beautiful area. Now that down there, that's part of the original quarry workings down there. And then we've got this area here, which is the Millennium Wall, which was built 29th April to 1st of May 2000. So it's already coming up to 24 years of age. Again, we've got that lovely structure. And just as you come around, you've got these old quarry dumps here. So this here is representing an old chimney that used to be on the area. So again, this is the area here, the quarry. It was once a fossilised reef. So if I can get you the information, just there and just here. So 1966 it was stopped being a quarry, but that's an artist's impression of what it may have looked like. So here we've got, notice, of an information sign, which is well worth a read. It's sadly broken. 2018 it was put here, but this is the circle, closing the circle, and as you can see there is carvings on it, closing the circle. Just there. So just so you can see how huge the quarry is, I'm not even at the bottom level. It goes all the way up there. It's an impressive structure. And it goes round there as well. So just there, there's a shell fossil and some orange varieties, tiny bits of lead galena as well, and there's another fragment of a fossil, and there's another one there. And this is just the mineral samples you see in the area. And this rock here, it's crinoid fossils in. Just put that back where it came from. So as you look at the natural rock, you just don't know where things are going to be. There are warning signs of falling rock in that quarry, so I haven't gone in for that reason. But again, wherever you look, there's fossils, and this is some of the fossil limestone bits of shells there. Now this here looks like ironstone, but it's very ashy, and this is actually volcanic tufa, and this is compressed volcanic ash. So this is what's fallen onto the tropical island reef. Now just here we've got a bit of a crossroads that goes down to an old railway bridge, and then here you've got where the old workings used to be, and this here was another kiln, and all this complex would have seen hundreds of workers. So there is no access to this point, so I'll just show you from the edge. You've got a couple of old kilns there, and they'd have been used for firing local material at the time, bricks, things like that. They're going to date from the 1800s. And the kilns are down there, and this is on the quarry floor. Again, you can see just how high them cliffs are. And all this would have been mined out for local stone. An impressive structure. So this would be at the bottom of the reef bed. Very impressive. It's peaceful. It wouldn't have been at one time. There'd have been lots of trucks and a lot of work going on here. And just here we've got the edge of the old quarry with this lovely boulder structure just up there. And as we come around, we've actually got a slope for one of the railway bridges, and this is the view from the other side of the kiln and down into the quarry, and there is remains at the top of some steel work as well. And for those of you interested in the history of the railway and the incline, there's the information. If you want to read that, please stop and pause the video, and it'll give you the history of the actual area. And that's where it is and how it used to look like. And as we get down here, we've got the old railway station, Ravenstore Station. So I'm going to keep walking down a bit just so you can see it is actually quite steep coming down and up there. I'm glad it's a dry day. I have got boots and waterproofs, but there's some interesting structures down here for you to have a look at. So this side path here, which is now looking abandoned, would have been the original workers path, and that would have been so you wasn't directly on the line for goods traffic coming up and down this particular area. But we'll go down and have a look at the station as well. So as we get onto this lower level, you can see there is evidence either side of the original rail track. And then as we get down here, this is one of the original carts used, a wagon. And it's very interesting, this one, because this one is from World War II. And on the metalware, which would have been made locally, you've got this information. 4.5 standard. And then it's in information BR Turner Langley Mill 1940. And there's some more information. So this particular wagon is from 1940, World War II. This one has also got information for 1940, so it's a matching pair. Such a lovely piece. And then that is the railway connector hook as well, which we find the chains for when magnet fishing. And this is the information about it, just there and just there. And then up above we've got the coal hoppers and stone hoppers that would have been used in industry to fill these wagons up. So these particular ones, given the area, would be for stone, and that would go off to be manufactured into other uses. And again, in Derbyshire we've got these dry stone walls, which is what a lot of the stone went for. And if you look careful, you can see there are fossils in those. You've also got areas coming down onto the platform. You've got the old train stop buffer, and this is the original platform. How many people have been here, walked here, lived and worked here? It's amazing. And from here again you can see going up the incline there. So I'll give you some information about it. So this was a new built station in the quarries by the Ecclesbourne Valley Railway Association. The first steam locomotive was delivered in 1870, but steam was not used regularly after 1969. This is the map of where we are. Just there. This is an area of true history. Very, very important to Derbyshire because of the stone and the mining. And that's where the station building may have been. There is evidence of tin sheeting up there. And just down there, there's a fossil shell. It's a brachiopod. Just there. So yeah, this area would be quite an important area in times gone by. Lots of lead mining, lots of varieties, and fluorite, limestone, all for the industries, all for building, all for development. And they were very, very useful materials and still used in many parts today. Now it's known that there was prehistoric mines throughout Derbyshire, and they'd have just simply started by a hole in the ground and continued to be worked by picks, chisels, shovels, and literally worked all the way down several hundred meters, and then people would have been, men, women and children, would have been walking along where the rock face were, chipping away to find those early veins of minerals in the ground. The early lead mines, they have found lead ingots from the Roman period in this area. They've also found that medieval people and Tudor people mined lead to make church and cathedral roofs, and also early lead pipes was made from lead in this particular area. So I'm on a circular walk now, just down there in the background, that's Wirksworth area. That'll be my final destination of where I'm getting to, and that'll complete a nice circular walk today here in Derbyshire. So I'll be back with you shortly when there's something else to film. So, point of interest whilst in the area, we've got the memorial bench, and these are the local people that were from this area who sadly gave their lives during World War One and then World War Two as well. And you've got a lovely old bench, lion's head mounts just there, and it's kept in nice condition, and another one just there. It does look out onto the main road just there, and the new road going up the side. Now, I have found out this area, it is a lot of hills, a lot of climbing, steep hills, but it's a lovely, beautiful area, and if ever you do get the chance to see this area, it's highly recommended. And to those who can't see the area, I do hope that you get to enjoy the video and the things that you see on this particular tour and adventure.